Yeah.
Well, if it isn't the world-renowned victor of the rat-eye tourney, Henry of Skalitz.
Are you wishing you'd stayed home at Rat-Eye instead of joining in our nighttime venture?
You must be joking. I haven't had so much fun since... actually ever.
Really? Despite being wounded? Actually, you missed the best part. When I was hauling you like a sack of grain to the battlements, dead to the world.
It can't have been that much fun if I fell asleep. But you might have handled me a bit more gently. I'm black and blue all over.
Oh, all right then. Next time I'll just leave you to Istvan's tender mercies.
Nonsense. What would you do without me? Still, thank you for hauling me out of there.
Anything for you, my lord.
Well, young sir, what now? Shall we ride boldly forth to adventures new?
I never took you for a romantic soul. But, as it happens, a romantic soul is just what I need by my side right now.
What, here? Now? Aren't we leaving?
Ah, that's just the thing. Here we are, about to ride off into the unknown. Well, who knows what fate has in store for us? What if we should fall as heroes on the battlefield? How could I depart this world with a quiet heart, never having known true love?
I'm a little worried about you, sir. Aren't you getting overheated inside that armor?
Look, I can't just go off and get my head chopped off somewhere without first winning the heart of the girl I love. So are you going to help me or not?
Well, affairs of the heart are what I do best. I'll be glad to help you. So what do you want me to do?
You, Hal, shall be my messenger of love. You shall bear her a letter and a gift from a secret admirer.
Why me? It's not like you to be bashful, Sir Hans. You can just go and tell her,
Certainly not. Carolina is different to the others. She was educated in a convent and needs to be handled with kid gloves. Romanced. I must court her secretly. It's the latest fashion in France.
And who is this Carolina?
The fairest maid that ever walked the earth. Carolina. The butcher's daughter. You must have noticed a divine creature in the marketplace. Unless you're more interested in barnyard animals.
Carolina, I do know her. She's a pretty girl, all right, but, well, a little below your station.
Love knows no station but the heart. And you keep your peasant eyes off her. Your task is simple. All you have to do is get hold of a necklace fine enough to grace her lovely neck. I did have one that I inherited from my great-grandmother. Unfortunately, not anymore.
Wouldn't some other necklace do?
It would not. Only the best will do for Carolina. I'm not some tanner who gives trinkets from a market stall to his beloved.
Oh, all right then. Is there something else I should know about this necklace?
I lost it at dice in the Ledechko Tavern when I was there to see... well, That's not important.
So you bet a rare family heirloom, even though you don't know how to play dice?
I do know how to play dice, as long as the other fella doesn't cheat. No doubt he'll still be sitting there, swindling other folk out their hard-earned groschen.
Well, then you ought to have had him clapped in the stocks. But all right, if that's what you want, I'll go to Ledechko and find this swindler of yours.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat. See you later.
So how do I get to this dice player?
Well, just a wild guess. Maybe sitting in the Ledechko tavern playing dice? At least during the day. Anyway, someone there will know him for sure. God be with you.
You can't just walk around in the dark. You have to have a light. It's the law.
Are you looking for me? What's it to be?
Have you got a bed for the night?
All right. For how long?
How about if I pay you for several nights?
All right. Money up front, though.
Here you go.
You've got it all to yourself. No one will disturb you.
Where do I go to sleep?
That's easy. As soon as you go indoors, at the end of the room on the left, there's a door leading to the chamber. Everything's prepared for you there. Goodbye.
Good day, Henry.
Hosts baked in the Temple of Jerusalem. Come closer, my friends. Marvel at the miraculous items on offer today for a fraction of their true value.
I'm glad to see you.
Are you the one who played dice with Lord Capon?
Played and won, lad. A fine noble he may be, but he can no more throw dice than I can read Latin.
I can't disagree with you there. But look here, have you still got that piece of jewellery you won from him?
No, I don't. Some noble rode through here and we had a game or two. Only them dice kept falling his way. I was lucky to keep my boots. He's got the necklace now.
Did you know where this fellow was heading?
He was waiting for someone here, but when they didn't show up by midday, he rode on. He mentioned something about camping by the bridge over the Sasau River. That one before the charcoal burners camp. You might still catch him there with a bit of luck.
There aren't many fords along the river on the way to Sasau. Can you tell me anything else about him?
Fine gent he was, well dressed, on horseback. Had quite a lot to say. Seems he saw a bit of the world. And he had some interesting looking dice.
You said they fell well for him?
Aye, and no wonder. Fine dice they was, made special, all shiny and whatnot.
That's all I need to know.
Good luck then.
Powder made of the bone.
Are you after something? I'm afraid my friend here won't tell you much.
Your friend? Oh, I'm very sorry. And, well, I don't want to be insensitive, but I was hoping to get something from him. My master's necklace, which he won at dice.
Your master? Who would that be?
Well, Sir Radzig Cobbler of Skalitz is my liege lord. I'm Henry, but just now I'm helping Sir Hans Capon with a private matter.
Those are weighty names in these parts. I'm Sir Anselm of Domkey, in the service of... well, that's not important. I'd like to give you... that is... I'd like to ask you for your help.
I'm listening. Tell me what you know.
I will. And I'm sure it will help you find that necklace. The thing is, this is all my fault. I got held up on the way to meet Alphonse. By the time I got here, I found him like this.
God have mercy on his soul.
Amen, lad. I was heartbroken and enraged by turns, tearing my hair and cursing. Alphonse was my good friend, and it pains me to know he was only here on account of me. I brought him into a certain business matter to negotiate with some people, and he agreed. And this is how it ended up. When I finally pulled myself together, I took a look around and found some tracks. I followed them to the camp of those very brigands that Alphonse was supposed to negotiate with.
Nah, you can't trust anyone these days. So how can I help?
You can pass yourself off as Alphonse. Get into the bandits' camp and find that fucking murderer. And when you do, you'll find what you're looking for.
That doesn't make any sense. If one of them killed Alphonse, he'll know I'm not him.
No. They never saw him before. So whoever killed him surely took him for some passing merchant.
Are you quite sure they don't know him?
Aye. He moved in altogether different circles, among decent people. That's the very reason I asked him for help. So I reckon the best thing is for you to introduce yourself as Alphonse, have a snoop around, and come back to me when you find out anything.
Now, wouldn't it be better if you did that yourself? After all, I know nothing about this Alphonse. They'd see through me.
I'd do it if I could, lad. Only they know me, and I'm not on the best of terms with them. They'd most likely kill me on sight. Then the two of us would be dead and those bastards would get away with it.
Well, I hope I can avoid the same fate. And how am I supposed to recognise the killer?
Ask around. I don't reckon anyone will admit to stabbing him in his sleep, but you might pick up some clue. You could have a look around for that necklace. Now that I think of it, they stole other valuables from him too.
Silver is silver, though. I won't recognise anything. Didn't he have something unique? A signet ring or chain or...
No, not that I can... Oh yes, he did. Dice. He had a set of dice made specially in Prague. It was his pride and joy. They were red and gold, bright and shiny. Not the kind of thing you'd overlook.
What can you tell me about Alphonse, so they don't catch me out if they start asking questions?
Indeed. A few details should suffice. He was from Slani, but lived in Prague the last few years. He advised people, very well too. He helped them to deal with problems, of all kinds.
He sounds like a man of the world, but I've never even been to Prague. I'm not sure I can fool them.
You can always change the subject. He was an ardent dice player, God forgive him, and he spent some time in Moravia on the service of Prokop of Luxembourg. But that was ages ago.
What do you know about the brigands in that camp?
Actually, they're not just ordinary bandits. It's a robber baron and his band. Sir Erhard Baron Bielowitz. Some of his vassals and maybe some commoners. They came here in the hope they'd have a better chance of keeping their heads.
Why don't you ask some of the local lords for help? I'm sure the Sasau custodian would lend you a few men.
There's nothing I'd like to see more than the lot of them strung up. Only I have a task that conflicts with that. And as for the custodian, I'm pretty sure Sir Sebastian is in league with Erhard.
What was the purpose of Sir Alphonse's negotiations? I'll need to know that.
Look, Henry, you'd best avoid that subject if at all possible. Just find the murderer for me, get your necklace, and I'll take care of the rest.
It'll be a bit hard to avoid that, since it was supposed to be the entire purpose of his visit.
True. Well, Alphonse was supposed to talk Erhard into moving his robbing raids towards Benishov, especially holding up merchants' wagons heading for Prague. In return, he was to offer a reward of up to 12,000 groschen and safe haven in Pilgrims.
I see. So you work for someone in Pilgrims?
No, neither Pilgrims nor Benishov, nor Vlachin for that matter. It's a bit complicated. Damn politics.
Is there anything else I should watch out for while passing myself off as Alphonse?
The main thing is to look and sound like a noble, not a peasant. A commoner. So dress the part. No rags or rusty iron.
My word, the whole thing sounds like quite a twisted affair.
So are you going to help me?
I'll help you. I'll have to go there to look for the necklace anyway, and this seems as good a way as any.
Thanks 1,000-fold. And for the love of God, don't get caught. I'd never forgive myself if another man lost his life on my account. If it starts to look risky, take to your heels.
I'll bear that in mind. There's something else I'd like to ask. I've no more questions. Looks like he died without a struggle. Maybe killed in his sleep. They took everything he had. Money, jewellery, even his boots. Someone was searching for something here. Were they out to rob him of everything he had? Or something in particular? Could it be someone was trying to get rid of something here?
Welcome, Henry.
Who's there?
Would I be right in assuming this is the encampment of Sir Erhard, Baron Bielewitz?
And you'd be who, then?
I am Sir Alphonse, and I'm here to parley with Sir Erhard of Belevitz.
No offense, sir, but you don't look much like no lord to me.
I am travelling in disguise. That is, incognito. No one must know where I am bound, or from whence. Where?
All the way from Prague, eh?
Not at all, Goodman. From Slaney.
Ah, well, that's quite a haul. How was your journey?
As well as might be expected in these perilous times.
Oh, aye. The roads ain't safe at all these days. There's all sorts of rabble waiting to rob unwary folk and even kill them.
Indeed, I concur. One must be wary, well, cautious even, when travelling.
Right then, but you'll have to wait a while. Sir Erhard is busy at the moment.
No matter, I shall just,
But it's easy to pass the time here. There's always a dice game going on, with nice things being wagered. I had my eye on a fine pair of gauntlets, and some old piece of jewelry.
Jewelry, you say?
That's right. Just go and see old Blaha, the fellow sitting at that table there. He can read, write, and do sums as good as any scribe, and other things, too. He keeps things in shape here a bit.
Thank you. I may well do that. Can I ask you something?
Ask away.
Don't you leave the camp at all?
What are you trying to say? That we're shitting ourselves here?
No. I was just wondering if you knew what's going on around these parts.
We come across hunters now and then, or pilgrims on the road. There are charcoal burners nearby. Sometimes they pass the time of day with us. But we've got no course to cross the river. That's too close to Sasau.
And why are you hiding out here?
I wouldn't call it hiding. We're just having a bit of a rest.
From what?
Things were getting a bit too hot for us. Nobody bothers us here, just as long as we don't show our faces in Sasau.
Tell me something about yourself.
Why do you want to know? You want to spread the word about what a good dice player I am?
Well, I was just curious.
You know what they say, curiosity killed the cat. But if you must know, they call me Berta, and I'm Sir Erhardt's right-hand man.
Berta?
Ah, you heard of me, have you? The Scourge of Vlashim. No man who felt the edge of my axe lived to tell the tale.
Stayed home.
I'd like to ask you something else. Can I ask something?
Oh, ask away.
Who are you?
They call me Noggin. I'm Sir Erhardt's vassal.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Sir?
Why are you hiding out here?
We're not hiding. We're just...
Well, couldn't you rest from your profession just as well in Sasau?
What's Sasau got that we don't have here?
Have you been out of the camp recently? Maybe down by the river?
Why would I? We've got an outhouse here.
What about the others?
Why would they? There's water here, game in the woods, supplies enough. What else could a man want?
What a she do?
That's all I need to know.
Scraps to cheer me up. I'm almost sober again.
Can I have a word with you?
What do you want?
Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked.
What's your story? You don't look like one of them at all.
I ain't, true enough. I'm a local. I don't go raiding with them. When they're here, I just look out for them, bring them supplies and that.
And what do you do when they're not here?
Whatever's needed. But being the go-between for them that set up the ambushes pays well. And you don't have to risk your neck for it.
I'm almost sober again.
Can you tell me something about the camp here?
This place? It's been here as long as I can remember. I used to come here as a youngster to play with my mates. Anyway, one time I had to lie low for a bit, so I came here and ran into these gentlemen, who pay good coin when you bring them some wine and a bit of grub.
Why did you have to disappear?
Nothing terrible. Just that I was courting this one girl, only her old man and her brothers didn't take to me. Besides which, she was promised to some rich merchant. Once they had her married off, they forgot about me, though.
I'll leave you to it. Can I ask you something?
Ask away. Anything to pass the time.
You're Mladotter, right?
I am. Why'd you ask?
Just curious. This is quite an interesting retreat you men have here.
You could put it that way. I ain't been here long, though. I helped them out of a tight spot and they took me with them.
Is that right? How did that happen?
Well, I was lying in wait for this wagoner, see? Because he'd been mouthing off about me, so I figured I'd take all he had for compensation. Anyway, I'm hiding there in the bushes, and I hear this wagon coming, so I jumped out to ambush him. Only it wasn't that wagoner, but some merchant. As soon as he saw me with my weapon drawn, he started screaming bloody murder. And next thing, his armed escort comes charging up, and I was the one ambushed. The injustice of it.
Vexing indeed.
Aye. Anyway, they caught me and took me with them. They figured I was Sir Erhardt's spy, and they wanted me to lead them to him. Of course, I told them I didn't know what the fuck they were on about. So, while they were threatening to break me on the wheel, string me up and what have you, along comes the Baron with his merry band, and they lay into the soldiers and send them running for the hills. And ever since then, I've been riding with them.
That is quite an entertaining anecdote.
Ain't it just? If it hadn't been for me, the fellas would have run straight into a trap and it'd all be up with them. So, it's on account of me, they're still alive.
Can't drink no more today. Rivers
You're
of
Mlad Doctor,
blood
right?
and
I am.
Just curious.
bloody flood.
This is quite an
You could put it that way.
You must tell me all about it some other time.
If you like.
And how are things here? Do you get away much?
We ain't allowed to leave. So I've been here the whole time. I don't mind though. There's always something to pass the time. And we've got that wench.
That's all.
I'll let you know when Sir Erhard has time for you.
I want to rob him. Fucking boy. Who's there? I traded them for food yesterday.
You'll get new ones soon enough.
I'll take them off the first idiot that crosses our path.
With your luck, it's going to be a thing.